consists of composters and vermicomposting unit.
We're in the midst of a detailed design for a seismic upgrade of the facility to meet the current National Building Code.
We can make a difference. Normally it's people telling me you can make a difference, but now we've actually come up with an idea.
Welcome to the Sustainable Region. I'm Vanessa Timmer.
And I'm Dagmar Timmer. Pier Park in New Westminster is a great example of what makes this region so amazing. Here, recreation, industry, and a beautiful natural environment come together in one place.
It's not hard to see why 2 million people call Metro Vancouver their home. And with more people joining us every year, our population could grow to well over 3 million by 2040.
Our growing population presents many challenges, but one of the biggest is what to do with all of our waste.
As part of the Solid Waste Management Plan, Metro Vancouver has set an ambitious goal of diverting 70% of solid waste from landfill by 2015.
Metro Vancouver doesn't collect our cans from the curb, so how exactly are they involved in helping manage our solid waste?
Our first story may help to explain things.
Metro Vancouver and its member municipalities work collaboratively to provide waste management services to the region. Each year, our residents produce over 2 million tons of solid waste. 55% of this material is recycled, and 45% goes to disposal, either to landfill or waste to energy. Metro Vancouver establishes policies for waste disposal and manages infrastructure and operations of transfer and disposal facilities. Member municipalities manage solid waste collection and recycling services for single families, and the private sector provides a variety of waste management and recycling services. Our waste disposal system includes 7 transfer stations located across the region, a waste-to-energy plant in Burnaby, the Vancouver landfill, which is owned and operated by the City of Vancouver, and the Cache Creek landfill. Our recently approved solid waste management plan has several very important goals. Reducing the per capita generation of waste 10% by 2020, increasing our recycling rates from the current 55% to 70% by 2015, and aiming for 80% by 2020. These are ambitious targets, and they won't be achieved without significant changes in our regulations, business investments and processes, and in our behaviors as citizens. While we have developed a very efficient integrated waste management and recycling system, a major focus of our efforts is in reducing waste before it's created. This effort involves public information and education, including campaigns designed to encourage citizens to change their habits. Much of Metro Vancouver's work with municipalities over the next years will be focusing on how to work together to encourage the necessary changes, monitor progress, and adjust our processes. New capital and replacement infrastructure are needed to develop new waste-to-energy capacity and to continue the improvement of the waste disposal and recycling system as a whole. The overriding principle of the Integrated Solid Waste and Resource Management Plan is the avoidance of waste through an aggressive waste reduction campaign, recycling as much as possible, and the recycling of materials and energy from the waste that remains.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region. Reducing the amount of waste we create is the best way to lessen our impact on where we live. Reusing and recycling are also great ways to make a difference. In our next story, some Metro Vancouver students are looking at the concept of waste in a whole new light, with a little inspiration from the Metro Vancouver Zero Waste Conference.
At Crofton House School on the west side of Vancouver, a group of grade 7 art students are grappling with an issue that affects us all.
Yeah, but garbage bags are like...
How about we use
bad for the environment.
What to do with the stuff we don't want.
Actually was watching the design challenge on the Metro Vancouver website and was really inspired by the design elements of creation.
We have an hour.
The inspiration was the Real World Challenge at the Zero Waste Conference, and these 8 teams of 12-year-olds will have 4 weeks to attempt the same thing.
So your mission is to design a garbage container for the school. All right, any other questions before we begin? Excellent. Are you ready?
The first task for the girls was to come up with a team name.
Just a suggestion, okay? Again, like if you guys have better ideas, speak up.
Our name must be creative. It must stand out.
We're building a hugger tree. It's done. Ready, guys? Put it in. 1, 2, 3, hugger tree!
The students need to take into account not only what is going into their containers, but what the containers themselves will be made of.
I think they're going to take us places where we are going to be completely surprised.
What's a native plant?
If it's a native plant, then it doesn't need to be watered because it knows how to adapt. So.
I think that it's really exciting because we get to combine art, which is really fun, with something that's sustainable.
We've never done anything like this before. It's such a different product because we haven't really included waste and
I do
art.
wish we could actually build it though. That'd be really
so
fun.
cool.
With team names chosen and roles assigned, the students look ahead to future classes and presentation day.
Oh, the mouth?
Oh! Good job today, girls. You worked really hard. I think there's some really interesting ideas out there. Okay, you are dismissed. You can just leave everything in the center of your table.
At Crofton House School, the students in the Design Challenge only have 2 classes left to prepare before they make their presentations. To help the students better understand waste reduction, Carrie has invited a special guest from Metro Vancouver.
Why is reducing waste a good idea? Well, we can't really talk about that unless we know where our garbage goes. So today, basically providing a bit of a snapshot of how waste is managed in Metro Vancouver. So reduce, reuse, recycle. These are all ways of minimizing waste going to landfill.
In addition to the importance of reducing, reusing, and recycling, Bruce also wanted the students to understand what things are still going into the landfill.
You are food. You are hazardous.
And he asked them to guess which type of waste comprises the greatest volume of materials being thrown out.
Okay, and freeze. In the biggest category, the first vote is
Plastics.
okay.
Food.
Okay.
I think for the girls, that gave them a great sense of what should our containers hold and what should we be really looking at in terms of a design element in the container itself.
The answer surprised most of the students.
I think it's so surprising how much food waste there is because you think that that's something that you actually can compost.
With the clock ticking and new information at their fingertips, the students get into their teams and back to work.
You guys, I found reusable, a whole bunch of different reusable things. Bamboo, cord.
Okay, next week, 1 more class to go, and then you should be ready for the presentations for our final.
With the challenge more than halfway over, the students will need to stay focused.
In Metro Vancouver, everything has its place, and the We Recycle app can help you find that place. Take, for example, drywall. Maybe you've just renovated your new kitchen, maybe you've gutted your basement. Either way, Metro Vancouver transfer stations only allow minimal amounts of drywall. The We Recycle app can tell you where and how you can dispose of your waste drywall, and will also tell you how to get there. But here's what it won't tell you. Drywall is composed of gypsum plaster pressed between paper. Gypsum is a very soft sulfate mineral composed of calcium sulfate dihydrate. Gypsum in landfills is a problem because it breaks down the clay seals used to protect the water table from dangerous liquids that seep from other garbage. Preventing contamination of our water supply is one of many good reasons to recycle drywall. To minimize local environmental impacts from drywall dust, recycling process plants have developed air filtration systems, and most of the process takes place indoors. Wet and dry loads of waste drywall are cleaned of metal, plastic, and other debris. The material is then conveyed to an enclosed processing area that separates the paper liner from the gypsum core. The paper gets washed and bundled and then sent off to the paper recycling plant. The recyclable gypsum is either trucked back to drywall manufacturers or used in other ways. Gypsum is particularly useful in soil improvement as a soil conditioner and as a fertilizer. It is a fast-releasing source of sulfur and calcium, and when dissolved, improves the texture, drainage, and aeration of clay soils. So why not help a farmer and recycle that drywall? Go to the App Store to download the We Recycle app or metrovancouverrecycles.org to find out more. In Metro Vancouver, everything has its place.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region. Well, Metro Vancouver produces 1.5 million tons of garbage every year. You may not have been aware that of that, 285,000 tons is used to make electricity. With reducing, reusing, and recycling, recovery is a main tenet of waste management. Metro Vancouver's waste-to-energy facility in Burnaby has been recovering valuable resources from our waste stream for more than 20 years.
We're at Metro Vancouver's waste-to-energy facility. It's a facility that was commenced operation in March of 1988, and it processes municipal solid waste through incineration. First off is the weigh scale, so this is where the haulers arrive. We also have the electrical substation here, so we produce electricity here that we sell to BC Hydro. This is the waste that is primarily collected in, say, the big bins that are in the back alleys, along with residential waste that the municipalities pick up from single-family homes. This is the control room for the entire operation, where the operators control the combustion process itself. We have a couple of major upgrades here at the moment. We're in the midst of a detailed design for a seismic upgrade of the facility to meet the current National Building Code of Canada. And another major project that we're excited about is we are in detailed design for a NOx reduction upgrade.
One started at 11 o'clock.
From the refuse bunker here, the job of the crane operator is to move the waste around so we can continue to receive deliveries and keep each of the 3 feed chutes full. So we process about 11 tons per hour in each of the 3 chutes. It's imperative that we make sure that the feed chutes stay full so that we can continue to burn. We're currently in the boiler house of the waste-to-energy facility. This is where the actual combustion takes place. Down below us is the furnace, and that's where the garbage or waste is incinerated. And then we have a boiler here. And the boiler's function is to take the heat from the flue gas and transfer it into steam. And that steam is what's useful for producing energy, in our case, electrical energy. We are currently investigating the use of steam for district energy purposes. We are now in the air pollution control plant part of the facility, and this is arguably the most important part of the facility. Inside this part of the plant, there are 3 main pieces of equipment, and because there are 3 flues, there are 3 of each of these pieces of equipment. First being the heat recovery unit, which is directly behind me. That unit is the last piece of the puzzle for extracting the energy from the flue gas and putting it into the steam. Right behind me is one of the fly ash hoppers at the bottom of our boiler. And so what it does is it collects ash that's fallen down as the flue gas is going through the boiler. And what you hear there is the pneumatic valves. So it opens up, the ash drops in, and then the air transports it off of the fly ash storage silo. We recover about 9 100,000 tons a year of ferrous metal. That metal is sold to a scrap metal recycler, and it generates a little under $2 million in revenue.
Hi, I'm Candace, and I live here in Metro Vancouver. There's more than 2 million of us living here in the region, and together we throw out 360 million bags of garbage each year. That's around 156 bags of garbage each. This is my share. Watch your waste.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region. Well, as Metro Vancouver's policies change, more businesses will be looking at ways to reduce and deal with their waste. In a vacant parking lot in East Vancouver, a community-based approach to reducing commercial waste is being tested. The Strathcona Business Improvement Association has opened a Green Zone Resource Park. We're going to take a look at that next.
Crowd is on hand for the official opening of Strathcona's new Green Zone Resource Park, the first of its kind in the Lower Mainland.
The park basically consists of composters and vermicomposting units that will allow us to process compost or organic matter from our members.
Situated on the site of an unused parking lot, the park features a series of 8 sheds.
So waste will come in here, and this is our shredding machine. So the food waste first comes in here.
4 of the sheds are reserved for the composting portion, and we also have 2 sheds for the resource exchange and 2 sheds for the collection of mixed containers and soft plastics.
The resource exchange shed houses items that businesses no longer want. Rather than throwing them out, they are made available to local artists. This initiative is also being used as an opportunity to get some local residents back into the workforce, with the help of a humanitarian group called Mission Possible.
Mission Possible is an organization that works with guys from the downtown east side that really just want to get working again. There's a couple of guys that go around and do all the collecting in the local restaurants and other businesses, and they collect the recyclable products, so food waste, and they bring it back to this facility.
So far, 40 Strathcona businesses are participating, diverting more than a ton of garbage from the waste stream every month.
Here we have a small urban farm that's been developed over the past couple of months.
And right in the middle of the inner city, a vegetable garden.
We're partnering with a local restaurant to provide them with some local veggies, as well as provide education opportunities and green jobs and volunteering opportunities at the garden with people in the community as well.
Many people attending the park's opening are from other business improvement or merchant associations in the Lower Mainland.
We've seen a lot of interest from many other business associations on this project. There's a lot of demand from consumers on businesses to become more socially and environmentally responsible and look at the supply chain and look at where they're getting rid of their waste.
Business owners in the Steveston area are actively talking about doing something similar.
I think it's phenomenal what they've achieved. It's the sort of thing that business owners are looking for, and the more that the region and the more that the governments can get behind this, I think this is the first of many.
We all have too much stuff, but getting rid of it in a sustainable way is tough. Like all that old sports gear or that leftover paint that can't go to the landfill. Metro Vancouver's new We Recycle app turns your iPhone into a reuse and recycling powerhouse. It'll find the nearest place for your stuff to go. Simple, sustainable. Everything has its place. We Recycle, now available in the App Store.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region. At Crofton House School, the Zero Waste Design Challenge is more than half over. The teams are working hard, and their designs for their school waste bins are coming together. It's time to check on their progress and see which design comes out on top.
Hello.
It is the final class for the grade 7 art students at Crofton House.
They've had 2 classes already, and they have 1 class more to prepare, and then we'll have our final presentation.
Our theme is basketball because we think that we have to teach little kids. Shoot for zero waste.
They were really focused. They needed to follow through because they knew they had a really limited amount of time.
I was thinking that to make the basketball hoops, we could use thread and make it like a hoop pattern.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the top.
This is the top. It's gonna look kind of like this.
During the class, they were actually documenting themselves.
Very nice, very nice.
Which was also really interesting because they created this kind of little documentary or conversation going on amongst themselves.
Paper mache doesn't stick very well, so that would be kind of hard. It's not very professional either.
Are we still recording?
Oh, I guess so.
Are we still recording?
Oh, okay.
So we made it in plain English, and basically it's just where you like move stuff around. Hello everyone, my name is Ashley, and I'm the presentation manager for the We Can Design project. I noticed that
I'm doing it green because green is kind of like the color of recycling.
It's all going to be recycled paper that has already been used, but we can use again to promote the idea of recycling.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous right now. I'm having a nervous breakdown on camera, God.
I kind of feel like they might have needed a little more time today to just iron out some wrinkles, but I think their ideas are there and they are super excited about their ideas.
That and we can use the yolks to eat. What about this? We can just the model that we are going to be making today. Do you have raw eggs in this room right now? Presentation is next Tuesday.
I'm really excited to see what they're going to come up with because I think that they are so innovative and so curious.
The time has come for the teams to present their designs for their zero waste containers.
I don't know whether I was more nervous than the girls, but all day I've been thinking about it. I had butterflies in my stomach. This is the official Grade 7 Design Challenge at Crofton House School. So today is the day that you are going to be pitching your ideas to our 3 expert panelists. There were 3 judges and they were looking for 3 specific components in each of the presentations. And the criteria was based on excellence in the field of waste management, excellence in the field of creativity and persuasiveness, and excellence in the field of marketing.
With the judges in place and the criteria clear, the teams begin their presentations.
Our product is a pack bin recycling bin.
Certainly the energy in the room was fantastic.
Our plan is to create basketball hoops, which are made of recycled materials that will make throwing out garbage fun. Team Orchid's goal is to reduce food waste on Earth. We raise awareness to the importance of composting. The base is made in...
One of the things that struck me was the amount of content that was shared in a short amount of time.
There's also a window here with a lever, and the lever helps turn the soil.
I wanted to just really be wowed by what they would come up with on their own, and I really was.
We have chosen to make our unique trash cans out of sustainable, reusable materials. A mixture of sugarcane fiber, corn, and potato starch. This is a great alternative to unfriendly plastics that take thousands of years to degrade.
With all 8 presentations complete, the judges must now decide who will receive the awards.
The one I was most intrigued by was Team Orchids. That was the strongest, I think, in terms of innovation.
It was so tough to judge. At the end of the day, they were all excellent.
They spoke
the Pac-Man over the basketball.
Yeah, no, I guess between the two of them, between the two, I say the basketball.
We'll start with the excellence in the field of marketing. The award goes to Creative Cans.
I think it was good that Ms. Harding told us that we only had this amount of time and we really had to put ourselves out there and make it work no matter what happened.
So for excellent in the field of waste management, the winner of this category is Team Green Sea.
I learned that we can actually go out there and do stuff like this on our own, and we can make a difference. Normally it's people telling you can make a difference, but now we've actually come up with an idea that is actually possible for us to actually create.
Last but not least, excellence in the field of creativity and persuasiveness. And this goes to Team Orchids.
There is a ton of garbage, and if we don't do anything about it, eventually something bad will happen. So if we can just make a little change in how we live now, we can reduce that garbage by a ton.
So congratulations, girls.
I'm really, really proud of the end results. The girls were super motivated, they were excited. It built so many, I think, life skills, not just academic skills.
Well done. Let's give everybody another round.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region. Young people seem to understand the importance of rethinking waste.
Well, and the way that we're managing our waste in Metro Vancouver is changing every day. And it's not just about getting better with our blue boxes.
If we make less, reuse more, recycle,
recover resources by turning food scraps into compost or waste into energy,
and put less waste in the landfill, we will be able to achieve our goals and maintain this for everyone.
We hope you enjoyed our visit to New Westminster's Pier Park. Let us know what you think about today's show.
You can email us at sustainableregion@metrovancouver.org or watch this story and more at metrovancouver.org/videos.
For the Sustainable Region, I'm Dagmar Timmer.
And I'm Vanessa Timmer. See you next time.